Blog Talk Radio.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Superhero Academy. This is your host, Crossfire the Crusader, and I have several callers online here. Area code 503, who we got?
This is the Mighty Meow, Apocalypse Meow.
Awesome. And area code 619?
I believe that would be me, sir, Urban Avenger.
Urban Avenger, area code 253.
Skyman, the Tricolored Crusader here, sir.
All right, and I got area code 305, and for some reason the switchboard's not letting me sign you in. 305, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. This is Night Owl.
Night Owl, awesome. Night Owl, for some reason the switchboard keeps dropping you. I do apologize if I lose you again. I don't know why it don't like area code 305 today.
Oh, okay.
All my friends are on the Academy today. This is awesome.
Oh, I'm telling you. And for those of you that were expecting the promised show with Razorhawk, Razorhawk had a family situation this week. Nothing serious, but he needed to spend some time with his wife, and family comes first. You know, that's always important. So he's going to reschedule and talk to us about Hope 2011 later on. And in the meantime, we're going to talk about the awesome documentary, the superhero documentary by Michael Barnett, which I was actually able to watch last night. It was pretty well done, I thought. I know Skyman and Meow were both in the documentary, as was Urban Avenger. I don't think Night Owl was in it, but I was very impressed. I would love to hear your thoughts on this documentary, people. And, of course, anybody that wants to call in, the call-in number is 917-889-3317. Let's go ahead and Meow. Let's let you start out. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
You know, the three guys that did it, they were just great guys, and we enjoyed meeting them. They were good guys. We had a lot of fun with them. But quite honestly, had I been able to, you know, predict which direction they were going to go, I would have hoped to have maybe swayed them in a different direction. I think I was talking to my dad, actually. He DVR'd it and finally got a chance to watch it, and he was kind of mad. And he said, you know, he says, I was kind of tragic. And I said, yeah, kind of. And he said, you know, they shouldn't have made a spectacle of those two. He says it wasn't funny. And I agree with him. I think that there was a lot of footage on two specific people, and both of them have done a lot of good, and both of them have big hearts. But I think that what was the focus was, you know, the shock value of it, or the comic relief of it, or look at the guy doing that thing, whatever that is. Unfortunately, I think there was a lot of time spent on two specific people, and just they didn't even talk to other folks. It made me kind of sad.
I would agree. And Urban Avenger, I want to say I thought y'all made a great showing as far as the Extreme Justice League there. I was impressed. There was a couple of chuckle moments in there from Mr. Extreme at the tournament, and of course the Amazonian with her issues with the the baton. I got to laugh at her because she pulled the baton up and it would pull back up. I thought that was funny. But other than that, I actually thought it was quite tasteful. What's your thoughts, Urban Avenger?
Well, when it debuted on HBO last Monday, that was the third time I had seen the film. First, I saw it in Newport Beach when it was still missing all of the footage from Chula Vista, with the deputy mayor. And I didn't have as big of a role in it. I still don't. I mean, that's not really what that's about. But I didn't have any speaking parts or anything. Then the second time at Comic-Con, and then again at HBO. And those two times that was the finalized product. And every time I see the movie, I get it. Yeah, there's a lot of funny parts. I'll give you that. And I think the movie is absolutely hilarious in some places, whether it's Master Legend hitting on that girl in the bar or Vigilante Spider talking about hitting himself with his stun gun. You can't take yourself too seriously when it comes to dressing up in a costume and walking around at night. You really can't. And it's okay to make fun of yourself, and it's okay for someone to take a jab at you, especially when that's what you give them to work with. If you take a look at the scene with the conundrum, and I've asked Mike and TJ about this, we've had lots of discussions about what goes on in the film. The conundrum tries to do that front flip, and he fails. And it's not like, well, we're just going to show the part where he fails just because it's funny. He tried it 3 times, and he couldn't do it any of those times. And they're like, okay, well, that's just what we have to work with. In the context of the film, they used what they thought was honest and fair. And you show Mr. Extreme lose at a tournament, and that's not really putting him in the best light. But then again, that's the honest to God truth about what happened also. And I think Mike and TJ and Ian, they wanted to focus on Mr. Extreme because he was, at least in their opinion, from the people that they had a chance to talk to who were willing to work with them in the documentary, he was the most dynamic and the one who, really had like the biggest heart. So I think that's why they decided to put their focus more on Mr. Extreme than anyone else.
Now I've got another caller, area code 267. You're on Superhero Academy.
Hello.
267. Who have I got?
It's Agent 7.
Hey, welcome to Superhero Academy. We're talking about the Superheroes documentary by Michael Barnett and getting everybody's opinion on it. I'm actually expecting a very special caller. The off meter will probably go off when he calls in, but I'm not going to reveal who that is yet. He can't make it. Night Owl, what was your thoughts on the movie? Go ahead and get your opinion. I know you've gotten multiple Facebook friend requests when it came out.
Well, as far as the film goes, in and of itself as a standalone piece, it's definitely probably gotten more exposure than a few of the other documentaries that are either already out there or are in production and are planning to be coming out, later this year, maybe early next year. I've seen it twice in theater. I saw it once at the Independent Film Festival in Seattle with Phoenix Jones and Skyman and a few of the Rain City guys. And that was the first time I saw it. And I got to say, having been on patrol with many of the people who were featured in the movie, you do get a little bit of a geek factor when you get to see the film with them. And then same thing experience when I got to see it at the Comic-Con when they were showing it there. It's always a joy to know that people find you interesting and want to spread your message. Cinematography was good. I think it was balanced, and the guys. I think I posted a Facebook note about this, which people can look at later if they feel like. But I made a review more about the reaction to it than actually critiquing the film itself. I thought that it was very raw and honest. I think we, as Urban Avenger said, we can't take ourselves too seriously. We can take our mission seriously, but public perception-wise, after a while doing this, I've learned that you have to have a thick skin. So I take the good with the bad. I'm happy to I'm happy to see that a lot of people are very supportive on Twitter and Facebook. Especially, I've seen quite a bit of positive reactions, and a lot of people say they not only approve, but they genuinely support what we're trying to accomplish, even if it's not the most conventional way to go about affecting positive change. And yeah, as far as the depiction of certain individuals in perhaps not the most positive light, well, I just have to say, they consented to participate in the film, and they were aware that all their actions had the potential to be in Final Cut, and they did not prevent Michael or TJ from filming any of that. So, that is a true reflection of who they are and their activities. So, it is what it is. If I was going to be participating in a documentary, I would probably not allow myself to be filmed doing things that I would not want to show to the public, perhaps consuming alcohol while in uniform or either smoking cigarettes, doing things that would show myself in a less than positive light, but that is my personal approach. I'm aware of that Night Owl, as many people in the community sometimes get looked up to as a role model, so I try and portray myself in a positive light. That's
caller, Eric.
That's all I've got.
Eric 727, you're on Superhero Academy.
It's Superhero. You know what to do.
Hi, Superhero.
Hey. We have got the who today here. I was going to say, having watched this in comparing it back to some of the news pieces that I've seen have been, like, hey, we've got a guy in spandex out there trying to do something and he's goofy. And most of the news articles that I've seen about RLSHs have been almost the equivalent of the thing when I did the sportscaster for a day as a clown. It was a colorful little side piece, that made the news, but it was just more or less a joke. It was a filler. This was actually quite respectful in a lot of ways, and I was really impressed by that. Skyman, I wanted to ask you next. So here's the question. I know you saw the thing in the theater. Did you see it in costume or did you see it incognito?
Of course, I went to STIFF, Seattle's True Independent Film Festival, and saw it with Phoenix Jones and Night Owl in gimmick, of course. I, got in for free because I showed up in, gimmick is not the term we use anymore, uniform, costume, whatever. I showed up in my Skyman super suit.
That's right.
Awesome. And the reaction was awesome. I mean, the film, yes, good and bad. It showed the human side of what we do, and it showed how we rise above our humanity to do miraculous good deeds. But as Urban Avenger and Night Owl pointed out both, we can take our message seriously, we can take our work seriously, but never try to take yourself too seriously. I mean, that was the gist of Night Owl's great Facebook note and reaction, which I dearly loved and, agree with wholeheartedly, that we're guys and gals who take on the personage of superheroes to try and, change the world, do good deeds, save ourselves, save humanity. There's going to be comic fodder in all of that.
Can I just break in really quick here, though?
Oh, go ahead.
Sure.
Well, all I wanted to say is there were funny parts in the movie. I think Vigilante Spider, he had me rolling. He is hilarious. I mean, we could have made an entire movie about him. He was funny and funnier than hell. I'm not saying there weren't funny parts in the movie, and there needs to be humor, because this is a humorous thing. I mean, come on, look at what we do. I mean, this is hilarious. My only issue was that, like I said in my post, you expect to see a lot of that. You expect, just, you think comics and you think lonely guys. You think lonely guys and you think just, I think that there was a lot of what you expected to see and not too much of what you didn't expect to see. And I guess maybe it would have been cool if they would have flipped it a little bit. If they would have shown people that you wouldn't expect to do this, kind of to show folks that You know, we're not just a bunch of crazy people. You know, there are educated people here. There are people in college here. There are people that have, you know, there are people doing this that have served in Iraq. There are people in the military now. There are mothers and fathers here. I mean, I think that that's really maybe what I think I wish that they would have focused on that more. Not what you were expecting to see, but what you weren't expecting to see. I mean, I have nothing against.
You said lonely guys, but they did show. I'll give them credit where credit's due. They did show Lady Hero and me together.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not pointing out to. I'm saying in general. You know, when you think comic book, and you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but when I was married to Zeta, we went to the comic book shop all the damn time, and I never saw a woman in there. I saw guys, just guys with glasses, and they looked very smart, but they were by themselves, and they were into their comics. And you know, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not saying girls don't read comics, but I'm just saying, you know, it would have been. Well, I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm calling as what I've seen. I'm sharing an observance.
One thing to consider is now that real-life superheroes are becoming a little bit more proliferative and mainstream. I heard a couple complaints talking about diversity, whether it be racial or gender. And they did show, for example, they showed like Lunar Veil and Dark Wolf, and you saw little snippets, but if you don't know who any of those people are, they quickly became background characters.
They were hardly in
the community is the community is so large, and you know, whatever their budget and schedule was, they didn't obviously get a chance to get a hold of everybody and show a complete cross section. But I think now that we just in the last year, I've seen a big rise. You know, I remember back in the day when I started, I could count on one hand the number of female real life superheroes or minorities. Now it's spiked incredibly because we're becoming a little bit more proliferative.
I'd like to disagree with you, Bill, because unfortunately you weren't around when they were patrolling with our team, and Lunar Veil and Dark Wolf were right there with me in Zeta all the time. They just didn't show them. I mean, Skyman was with them all the time, and they didn't show too much of them. That's what's unfortunate, is that I understand everybody keeps coming back to availability and who is available to do this and that. There was a lot of people. You can't tell me that it was just Mr. Extreme who was the most open. There were a lot of folks. I mean, Zeta took 2 days off work, and he had the weekend. We had 4 days with those guys. It wasn't necessarily about availability, maybe for some folks, but there were a lot of people who were wide freaking open that just didn't get shown. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they showed pieces of Lunar Veil for like a split second.
Well, there was a lot of footage that was probably shot that ended up on the edit room floor for the sake of continuity, keeping the film moving, keeping it well-paced.
That's fine, but don't go back to availability.
It probably had a number of test screenings, too. Everybody remembers Star Trek The Motion Picture?
Yeah.
It was visually beautiful to look at, but it's a very boring, slow-paced movie, even though it's so gorgeous to look at. And the reason is because it got finished so late, it didn't have time for any test screenings. And I'm sure that Mike and TJ gave the film some test screenings. I've done it with things that I've made and put out lobby cards, and the audience said, lose more of this guy, show more of that guy, show more of this girl, show less of this girl.
Okay, well, I understand that, but that's not availability. That's a different thing. That's popular opinion and who wants to see what and what's more popular. But, I mean, when people keep coming back to availability, there's a lot of people who are wide open. They just weren't shown. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And the other thing about the documentaries is – I'm sorry, go ahead.
Play devil's advocate for a second. I think I really enjoyed the story arc of the movie. I mean, sure, Mr. Extreme was and the NYI were prominently featured, but it creates for a good story arc. I mean, they wanted to show Mr. Extreme through a period of time, through that whole year. I mean, you see him lose his house. You see him move into his car. You see him lose a tournament. You see him finally, at the very end, getting congratulated by the mayor of Chula Vista for, you know, the advocacy in finding the groper. I mean, it makes for a beautiful story arc, and that, you know, tells a story.
It was excellent editing. I complimented the editors on it when we were out there in San Diego. also told them they were probably sick of looking at my ugly mug. But
never. I've
but
never
they
sick
did.
of looking at superhero.
But they did an excellent. Yeah, I agree completely. The story arc was beautiful.
And
That's
regarding
the important thing, is that they were trying to tell a story.
Beta Man and the alternates, but like that goes back to my devil's advocate point. They were trying to tell a story. I mean, they went on they showed Zimmer and the NYI doing a whole bait patrol, and when Zimmer's actions didn't work, they turned to Saf and showed Saf on doing the bait patrol. I mean, that tells a story too.
Right. They basically told me in the lobby out there at SDCC, they said I was in it for interjection of humor and one-liners. They said they got
and also
they said they got
to
some of the
defend
best.
the honor of Master Legend.
Yeah, they said they got some of the best one-liners out of me, and that's why I was there. And that was, it was just, but it fit into the continuity. They could cut away to me if things got too serious, yada yada yada, But it all fit into the story arc. They probably shot footage of people that just didn't fit into the story arc.
Let's get area code 970. You're on Superhero Academy. Who we got?
This is Lord Malignant.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
This is not
A pleasure to meet you all. One will be on good behavior. I saw that movie.
What's the film side here? What are your thoughts on the superhero documentary?
Thank you. One wants to be on good behavior and not hurt anyone's feelings. But one would make 2 quick points, and then I'll leave you to it. First point, both all police interviewed and Stan Lee himself show a genuine concern that this is not something that citizens should be doing. Second point is, of course, Master Legend demonstrates breaking and entering to drink beer and point out the courthouse and say, well, those are the bad people over there. Just a citizen's perspective, thank you all for the time. Have a good afternoon. Bye.
Okay.
That was an interesting point of view, Lord Malignant. Too bad we didn't get to question him more.
Well, I can say from first-hand experience, having worked with him, that since that film was made, Master Legend has managed to quit drinking, believe it or not.
Really? He hasn't relapsed?
No.
Because when I talked to him a few weeks ago, he said he relapsed because when I got sober a few months ago, he and I made the pact that we would get sober together, and I asked him if he was still sober, and he kind of said no.
Huh. Well, to my knowledge, he has not picked up a beer again. I guess we'll just have. I'll be seeing him next weekend.
I hope to believe that. I'm a little over 2 months sober myself.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So we'll just
Good
have
for you,
to
Scott.
see if he
Good
had
for
or he
you.
hadn't. But the problem that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think I was interrupting somebody.
According to Purple Lotus and a couple of others that have been working with him here recently, he is still staying sober.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was out there with him when we went
Yeah,
on the
I wasn't aware that he had fallen off the wagon at all. The problem that Master Legend seems to have, and I guess we'll be discussing it when I get out there this coming weekend, is that anyone that shows his former substance abuse problem in any which way, shape, or form is automatically evil and trying to destroy him, in his own words. Also, anybody that has ever questioned him about it is evil and automatically trying to destroy him. When the film, I'm not even aware if he's seen the film yet or not, but now the filmmakers are evil and trying to destroy him. And I've made it very clear to him, no, ML, in that time period of your life, the only person who was trying to destroy you was you. And, I just can't agree with his, throwing other people under the bus because he likes to drink, or liked to drink, pardon me.
Definitely.
And, but to my knowledge, since then, he has quit drinking.
Awesome. I will continue to have faith in that then.
Who has not got the sound off on this so far? I do want to say we've got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to ahead and do the show ending here towards the end of the hour, half hour. But we're going to stay online and do the other 15 minutes because this just needs the extra time that we've got available.
I wanted to ask if anybody else had seen the footage that was shot after the screening that I had put up of the Q&A that took place after the screening at SDCC.
I've seen it on YouTube.
I watched it. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I saw some of your
too.
If you could see the audience reaction, I felt that it was great that the film's story arc revolved around Mr. Extreme, and I think the audience agreed with me. The only thing I would have changed about that was the fact that it should have had more of Mr. Extreme's mom in it, because she is just a crash riot.
Are they filming a part 2?
That's what I was going to ask.
According to what I've heard, no.
Yeah, I believe they wanted to make this the definitive RLSH documentary.
Right. Barnett and TJ, they do something once and then they move on.
Yeah, as far as I heard, there was not going to be a sequel. However, some of the footage from Hope 2011, they've already cut a 2-minute video of footage that kind of condenses that Saturday outreach into 2 minutes. It's a good clip. I recommend everybody see it, and I've been told it will make the DVD as an extra. What I would really like to see is perhaps a gallery, in the DVD extras as well, of the people who didn't get any screen time, like basically profiles, who they are and what they do. Some of the background characters who are stellar in their own way. They just, as Superhero said, did not fall into like the main continuity of the movie.
Didn't Peter Kane try and set something like that up for the end of the documentary? I remember there was a call for video footage to be sent in of, every superhero who could get a hold of a camera. And sure, I'm pretty sure they're going to use that as a DVD feature.
Oh, they did leave out a part that kind of bothered me. I contacted them about it before they were done filming, actually. It was like the crime prevention, and then there's a homeless outreach, the patrols. But like what I do here in Florida is drug and prostitution, and I didn't see any of that, and I was just wondering. That's what I was wondering about the part 2. Maybe they can get something like that involved.
There will not be a part 2.
Yeah.
Well, something else to keep in mind is that even though this, like most of your documentaries are trying to do a cross section, like okay, this is a general overview of what the community is like. There's some of the documentaries, that I've done probably 3 or 4 right now. They're all in production or post production. I just wasn't in Superheroes, but all of them take a slightly different angle from the community. Some are regional, some are on the individual, like Miss Fitz documentary. So we're going to see different takes, especially once a documentary is done. The other documentaries are probably going to look at that and say, well, I'm not going to do that. That's already been done.
They've been there.
Yeah, that road has been traveled, and I think you're going to see, you may see a little overlap, but every documentary is going to have a slightly different flavor to it. So keep in mind, we may see, we may get the whole package in a myriad of documentaries.
Hey guys,
it's hard to tell the story from one perspective.
Out here. We're going to stay on after do an after show because I want to keep talking about this. But remind everybody, our saying here at the end: don't take yourself too serious. We're in a world of spandex and high ideal. And let's have our little closing theme, and then we're going to continue the show.
We're men in light. We roam around the forest looking for light. We're men in time. We run from the ridge and get to the fort, that's right. We may look like cities, but what would you say for else we'll put out your light? We're men in light. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. La 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 la. From the rich and give to the poor, that's right. We may look like candy, but don't get us wrong or else we'll put out your light. We're men
Now, off the
Men in
air,
tights!
but still recording. I love that ending. It was just a joke the first time I did it, but it has just stuck with us. It has been just such a
It
great
actually, makes perfect sense.
We start out real serious, and at the end, we get a little silly because, like, and Meow even brought up, what we do is kind of crazy. Who do we still have here? I hear Skyman, and looks like Night Owl's still on here, and I cannot remember who everybody is.
I'm here.
Agent Zep's here.
I'm here too.
Okay, good. We dropped a couple of callers here. I didn't know who all we had dropped, but this is one of the best shows we've had in a while for people calling in. I've been really impressed, and I thank everybody for the participation. But, I'm looking, we're talking about the people that didn't get to make the cut, and would there be a sequel or anything like that. But, I'm of the opinion that you could do an hour-long program every week of this caliber, and it would take years to get the depth of this community and give everybody their due. Wouldn't y'all agree on that?
I can tell you that my show will actually be back next month, and it will be an hour long like it used to be. So
the return of the Meow and Friends.
Yeah. Meow and Friends is coming back. I'm not here to plug my show, I swear, but I just happened to be on the show to tell you that
good.
We're actually getting everything.
Anyway, I want to be the one to break that news to the world that you're coming back.
Well, I am. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right, this is better. No, we've been just building things, and I've got a new team, and we're building a website, and we're doing cool stuff, and we're just trying to do everything at the same time. And, my show should be back next month, and it will be an hour, and I'm going to shoot to still have it at Sundays, 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. So that's the goal.
Sundays are going to be awesome starting in September. Crossfire Academy in the afternoon and Meow and Friends in the evening. Yay!
Wow.
It's entirely possible.
Okay.
Once we locate a suitable new cross case, we're going to announce on this also.
Somebody has a dog.
I've looked at several options, so we're looking for ways to do that.
I posted it last night.
I was hoping Amazonia would call in because she was going to try and watch it and call in, and a couple others. But I said earlier I got a good giggle out of the part where they was interviewing her, and she got the amps out, and that one kept holding up on her. Because I don't know how many times when I was playing with one of those security, I was trying to act tough to pop the thing out and slide it back into the little handle. It's just so comical, It would happen on camera. What were some of the moments that y'all thought you got a good chuckle out of?
Metaphorical girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The audience loved that one.
Yeah. We've been razzing Vigilante Spider about that every time we see him. We just start saying metaphorical this, metaphorical that, and he gets so mad. It's hilarious.
They actually, Jimmy Kimmel had that bit on the other night.
No way.
Yeah, they showed the interview with Vigilante Spider on Jimmy Kimmel, and I had to show him.
Oh my God!
To the security event with Squeegee Man, and he talked about his girlfriend, and Squeegee Man told him, "Yeah, he's dating the Invisible Woman." I think it was Toasty as he slammed on it. I remember the Squeegee Man that said it was like he got burned by Squeegee Man. That's Squeegee-rific,
I think one thing that they should have added to the film is the fact that Vigilante Spider now has a non-metaphorical girlfriend.
Yeah, he does. I was like, wait a minute, he must not have met her yet.
Yeah. Because that was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Speaking of things they should have added.
It was last summer. It was last summer.
Oh, okay.
It had to have been last summer because, everything was still fine with our team last summer. It wasn't until October that everything went to shit. But no, it was last summer.
While we're on the topic of things that should have been added, maybe make an extra, update. While we were at the con and we did the Q&A, Mr. Extreme revealed to the audience that he's no longer living in his van and he has a place with roommates. And now the XJL is expanded to 12 members. So is the New York initiative. I think that shows a good progression of where we are now. And not only that, the video they're going to throw on the DVD extra shows Hope started out last year with 5 guys, and this year we were at 32 people, and we gave away almost $10,000 in supplies and helped 600 people.
Yeah.
I think showing that trend is amazing.
I like the part where the homeless lady was sitting on the ground telling about why we need heroes, and the superheroes are real, and those are the real deal. All the silliness and everything that gets put out there, all these kind of stories, it's kind of hard to argue with the person that's sitting there at the lowest point in their life saying, these are the real heroes. That's what I thought was amazing. That is, I like the quote they opened the thing with, the quote from Albert Einstein. And I would have to go back and pull it back up to actually put it, but it's, basically, the world is not an evil place because of people who do evil. It's evil because of people who fail to do good. I thought that was just a powerful way to open it. This was a better class of documentary story. When I saw that quote, it's like they're actually taking the high road on this one. I was impressed on that, and it didn't let me down from that point on. Urban Adventure, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
The story they opened it up with Mr. Extreme chasing the guy into the alley, and the guy got so many years. That was actually a true story?
Yeah, although he wasn't actually Mr. Extreme in the story. He was doing his normal everyday job. But since it fit better with the movie to put him as Mr. Extreme, that's the direction they took.
So it's kind of like my story.
The baseball bat and underwear story?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
Boxer shorts. They were boxer shorts.
Whatever.
Man panties are man panties.
No, I think man panties are manties.
Yeah.
Man
Oh, you read my mind.
I had to get one like Aaron.
What's that? Oh, yeah? Nice.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
yeah.
Got about 7 minutes, so let's get over. We have one last say. What's your thoughts on the movie, or any endorsements you want to give to it? Cool. Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah, it looks like it.
No, I don't really have a lot to say. I just, I think, it's the first time I've ever been on your show.
Have a good day.
It's the first time I've ever been on your show, and it was awesome, and I thank you very much.
Oh, it was awesome having you, the queen of Blog Talk Radio, on my show. I got two more awesome callers to get in here. One of them is Thanatos, and I'm having him for October, and the other one is Trixie. As soon as she gets everything straight, I really want to get her on the show.
That would be cool. I'll talk to her and see when she can do it soon. I talked to her today, and she's okay, but I'll let her know that you want to get a hold of her.
Oh, definitely. Would love to have her on here. Want to hear how she did. It's all about the zombie walk and how to organize something like that. Because I know several people that want to do events that can learn from her experiences. And
sure.
Just the awesome factor of having Trixie on this show is it brings it full circle from my introduction to Blog Talk Radio, listen to the Creature Feature, and then eventually to Beyond Friends and so much more,
Yeah. Cool. Well,
and,
thank you very much for the
first show I
opportunity.
ever called into also.
Huh?
This is another, Meow Friends was the first show I ever called into. I remember.
Well, you'll be able to call it again soon. Definitely.
Oh, definitely. I will definitely call in. I work, working 7 nights a week, so I will probably be working. I'll definitely call in and give you a congratulations and start back out that night.
Great. Thanks. I can't wait to have you. Thank you very much, guys.
Night Owl, what's your thoughts?
Take care of me.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Crossfire?
What's your final thoughts on the superhero documentary?
What was my final take on it?
Yeah, your final, just the last little thing to say before we run out of time here.
I think it's going to definitely raise the bar for everything that follows. I mean, it's definitely a step up from what I've seen already, documentaries that have been done. But I think it's going to set an interesting trend. And like it's been said already, millions of people saw that on Monday when it came out on HBO. And even when we were at the convention, I had a few people come up to me and say, hey, I think what you guys do is awesome. It really made the comic convention for me to be able to see this film and see that, you know, people do care about others. And I think that the documentaries that are going to come out here in the next year or so will only go to spread our message. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Okay, Urban Avenger, let's get you next. I got about 4.5 minutes.
I just want to say that I think that this documentary has really opened up the door for the growth of the community. People see this film and they are inspired. I was inspired watching it, and I'm in it, you know. And that people are inspired to watching this film, and I can't tell you how many emails we've gotten of people wanting to join or wanting to know how to get involved or how to become superheroes themselves. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Skyman, let's get you next.
I just really loved having to take part in the documentary, and it was my first time on camera ever for anything, and to be Skyman on camera was epic. You know, I've dropped 80 pounds since then.
Wow. I know.
Congratulations.
Shaming me.
I mean, Night Owl remembers my initial reaction when I saw myself up there on the big screen. I was like, you mean I've lost that much weight?
Yeah, man, you're doing good for yourself. Keep it up.
Thank you, Night Owl. And it was always good to hear from you. Consummate professional, sir.
Well, I got 2 more weeks of school, so hopefully see you soon.
Yeah. I hope you survive paramedic school, man.
So do I.
Good luck. Good luck on finals and everything else.
Is that the last person I got on here, Steven? Is that who's left?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
You close this out. What's your final thoughts on this?
I thought the movie was portrayed in the same way that Night Owl said it. You know, it covered a lot of ground, and it showed the diversity of the community. You know, the following up, and I'm really hoping that they do something. You know, the superhero said that they won't. I can only hope. But all in all, yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. Happy to see that they showed a lot of good. And you know, I'm leaving Florida. I'm actually moving to New York, and in a little bit to join up forces and help out over there.
Awesome.
A new recruit for the New York initiative. Right on.
Sounds good. Well, guys, like I said, I thought it was well done. I appreciate everybody giving their input on this, and of course, it was awesome seeing my friends up there on the screen. And I don't have to go back and Japan so many times and not take yourself so serious. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up the after show with the song also. So, guys, it's been good talking to you, and I'll see everybody next week. We're going to have next week with Phoenix Jones. That's right. We've got Phoenix Jones himself going to be calling in and being part of the show and telling us all about the Rain City superhero movement and a lot of awesome stuff coming up. And the only one I'll go into right now at the time is, of course, Halloween coming up with Thanatos the Avenger. But there's a lot of more exciting stuff coming up. And we're going to close out. So here's the closing theme again. And thank you guys, everybody, for calling in.
We're men in light. We roam around the forest looking for light. We're men in time. We run from the rich and give to the poor, that's right. We may look like cities, but what would you say, or else we'll put out your light. We're men in light. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. La 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 We're men in light. Yeah, we roam around the forest looking for fight. We're men in time. We run from the rich and give to the poor, that's right. We may look like candy, but don't get us wrong or else we'll put out your light. We're men in tight, tight. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. When you're in a fix, just call for the men in time.